Good morning, my friends. This is Kate with Rituals to Rise, which is a morning, uh, 10-minute coaching call with you to talk with you about how you can achieve time and money freedom. And today, what I want to talk about is the value of consistency and the anticipation of what I'm going to call growth, but really what it is surprises. So one of the reasons why this morning deal that we do together has resonated with a lot of people is because they know that they can depend on it, whether they watch it at 6:30 or they watch it in replay during the day. They know that it's there. So what happens a lot of times is people will not catch me live, but they'll catch me during the day. Or they do something what they call binge watching. So with their sales teams or whatever, they will binge watch the week's programs or whatever. So we have a lot of that going on. Hold on one second. Okay, so one of the things is that over in the corner, there's like a little note. And yesterday when I'm going to hold it. So anyways, consistency, super important. And so what I want you to do is think about what you can commit to and then commit to it and do it, right? So I have a friend who is one of my dear friends who watches pretty much every morning. And she purchased BombBomb, which is a video platform for emailing with people and a video communication platform. And it's a phenomenal program. And so she purchased it a couple of years ago and used it for a couple of things in real estate. You know, she's got lives in a beautiful area, has beautiful listings, and has used BombBomb a little. And one of her goals this year was that, you know what, I am not going to give up my subscription to BombBomb because I know that video is important and I know I want to do it and I know it's a good thing. So she was going to make sure that she figured it out, right? So long story short, she starts doing them at the beginning of the year, sends out 2 videos and has had great response. And what she said was the really interesting thing to her was the response was immediate. As soon as it went out, somebody was responding back to her. And I find that a lot. And honestly, I try to be that person. If you're sending out a group email, I will write back like, nice email or whatever, because I want to be that person that says, hey, I know this took a bit to do. So I'm happy for you and here you go. So anyway, definitely 100%, you got to be consistent. I'm starting a newsletter and I've done 2 so far. 2 on Wednesdays they go out. And in my speaking of it, I said most Wednesdays, right? Because in case I miss one. Consistency is so important. And the second part about consistency is that we have to understand that it's going to take people a while to get trained into the habit. So there's a saying that it takes 7 touches before it even resonates with somebody that this thing is happening. So 7 touches, that means that your one email that you send out or your one video that you post on something, they are not going to have that density of people acknowledging it and coming around to see it. So consistency is really important. All right, so we've got our consistency pocket there and why it's important to keep on trying and keep on doing. And that brings me to the second point today. Yesterday, I had a special guest lined up for us at 6:30 in the morning. Again, kind of risky when you're going live. And we had certain challenges at 6:30 in the morning. So I jumped on to tell you guys that we were going to do it at 9 because I was sure that between 6:30 and 9, we would work out the kinks. And there were a lot of kinks. Like there was I couldn't hear her, right? So we had to kind of figure out why I couldn't hear her or why she couldn't be heard. Her mic was saying that that it was showing, that it was working, and yet we were not getting it. Okay, so we had to figure out the audio. And in doing that, I ended up unplugging my audio, which meant that I couldn't hear her. One of the things that's confusing, at least to me, is that when you are using an outside mic, and I have this mic right here, right? When you are using an outside mic, the microphone goes through here, but you have to tell your computer where the speaker is coming from. So if you've ever been on a call and they can hear you fine, but you can't hear them because you have something plugged in, there's another setting that has to do with the speaker, right? So where is it coming from? So that's 2 different things you have to touch. That's confusing to me. And that throws me off my game sometimes. And sometimes I'm like, I'm just going to just let the computer do it all. And maybe it's not going to be the best quality, but you know what? Maybe that's just that. and then I did that podcast last week on Broker Talk with Larry Laffer and Jim Lowenstern, and I had done a similar thing. I had left my mic in the car, which is stupid, right? I had all day to prepare for it, and I had another mic set up, but then I realized that the mic I had set up meant I couldn't hear them, so that didn't work. So then I was like, all right, so it's the computer, and then they couldn't hear me, and my sound quality was not as good as everybody else's. So that was a lesson to me about that consistency. Number one, like set yourself up in a place, always go to that place, figure out your lighting, figure out your whatever the situation is for you. Okay. So we had challenges with the audio. And then when I went to press live, I had my Facebook had been hacked a couple days ago or whatever, that one of those weird emails went out. So maybe it didn't get hacked, but maybe some whatever. So it went out. So I changed my passwords, which meant I had to do something to this program in order to get it to go live, which I did not see that button. Again, reason to wear the glasses. So we videoed for our show thinking that we were live when in fact we were not live. Well, we might have been live on YouTube now that I'm thinking about it, but we were not live on Facebook. So this cross-posting thing gets a little confusing. Right now I see a go live button. It's for Instagram. It's not going live to Instagram. I don't know what the deal is. I will figure it out later, right? So you see that there's kinks here. Now, many of you may be thinking, all right, so she's been doing this for a lot of years and she can't figure her mic out. She can't figure out how to go live. How do I ever stand a chance if I'm just starting, right? And this is what I started with at the beginning. If you really want it, you need to know that there's going to be changes. And the last part about this is that all of the platforms change, right? Facebook has changed the way they do things, I don't know, hundreds of times. And when you have a new system or you have a new thing or a new way of doing it, there's updates. The updates sometimes mean that you have to go back and change things. So you want to have a degree of preparedness or nimbleness, nimbility, I guess, if something's going to happen. So I don't want to scare you, but I do want you to know that change is going to happen and you've got to be thinking on your feet. If you want to have a presence out there, then you have to start, whether it's a newsletter, whether it's live streaming, whether it's making videos, not live stream and pushing them out because you don't want to have that live component to it. BombBomb might be a great thing for you. So there's all sorts of ways to do this. You got to start. And if you are doing it and you want to up level it, which is what I'm trying to do, right? Is know that you got to hit bumps in the road and just have backup plans in place for that. Oh, I know, not a fun one today. Well, it is fun, right? It is fun because we're learning, we're growing, we are getting out of our comfort zone. And that's the thing I put in there about getting your fear setting ready, right? So if you're telling me, well, I'm not going to do it because I'm afraid of the unknown, then you got to figure out what you're afraid of. You have to figure out what it is that's the worst thing that's going to happen. And then you can figure out failing forward, okay? Because we failed forward yesterday. We failed at 6:30. We failed at 9, right? But we have a beautiful video of our discussion together that we can promote over the place. We fell forward, right? It always happens. So even if you are not doing every week, maybe you can do every other week. Maybe you can do once a month. Maybe you can do it upon the listings. Figure it out. So you're not going to know everything, but you got to start learning. I think you're going to need to. If this pandemic has shown us anything, it is that this virtual world of ours is here to stay. So, and I want you to stay. I want you to love what you're doing, and I want you to keep doing it, and I want to keep doing it with you. So let's learn together. Let's fear set together, and let's communicate if there's a tip that you have found that might save all of the rest of us from the hardship. All right, guys, go have an amazing day. And I think you're awesome. Bye-bye.